For I will give you a mouth and wisdom. I will give you mouth and wisdom, which all your enemies will not be able to contradict or resist. I want you to know this. I want you to know this. Therefore, put in your heart not to meditate beforehand on what you will answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom. I will give you a mouth and wisdom. It's important to know how. How. It's very important. We have in the Bible, many, many promises. But it's so important to know how can I reach this promise. Today I feel that since I heard this verse, that how God can give you wisdom, how God can give you His voice, how God can reach you and give you this great, great gift is to talk. And I'm going to give you just an example, and this example is story. Of course, we have kids, and we all like stories. So do I. So I'm going to give you a story. Once upon a time, there was an owner of a house, and this house was a very nice house, and this young man was a very good one. And this young man has a best friend in his life. His best friend was amazing, very nice man. And he was regularly visits his friend, the owner of the house. People were looking at this couple of young men with very, very what can I say? They didn't know what kind of people they are, because they were very cooperative, very loving each other in a very deep way. I'll give you an example. When this stranger, when the friend coming to visit the owner of the house didn't accept his friend in the sitting room or the living room, but no. He's accepting him very close on bedroom. He can have a nap there. He can spend the day or more. So the relationship between the two were amazed many people. But one of the days he was leaving the bedroom where he was sitting with his beloved friend, and were going to the door of the house. He stood by a closed door, and he pointed at it to the owner of the house. So the owner of the house said, "No, my friend, no. And he pushed him friendly to go to the door, and he said, bye, okay. The other visit, the stranger came, and he visited again his beloved friend. his best friend. And he stood with him. They were talking about everything. But before leaving the house, he stood by the door and he touched the door, this closed door. So the owner of the house became frustrated, telling him that, why you're doing something like this to bother me? Why? I love you. What? He said, yes, and I do love you, but I'm coming in order to, not only to visit you, but to touch such door. He said, no, I'm not authorized in order to open such door, and also, I never opened it before. And you have to stop doing this, otherwise I'm not gonna be a friend of you. So, the best friend get to that door of the house and he said bye and get out. But the owner of the house asked the people serving him, and he said that the second coming, when my friend coming to visit me, please don't open the door at all. They repeated. He said, yes, don't open the door. This is what you do. They said, okay, we will not open the door. And the friend came. It was raining, and he stood by the door and knocked. But this time, the people working there, the servants, didn't open the door. And it was raining heavily, cats and dogs, like what they said, but they didn't open the door until it was dark. They didn't open the door, and the friend didn't leave the door. So the owner of the house came silently, and he looked from the window adjacent to the door, and he saw his best friend stood by the door, knocking and knocking. It's unacceptable. He looked at his hand, and he saw wounds. At the head, he saw wounds. So he felt guilty to leave him all this time by the door. And he opened the door. And he said, please, be a good one. He said, okay. When they walked, this time, before going and sitting with his friend, he stood by the door, and he said, let us open the door. So the owner became very, very, very nervous, and he cried with tears, telling him that, why you insist upon making me feel guilty? Why you're doing this? So the friend said, because I came in order to open it. He said, I can't. You can consider this door like a door in any other house. Why me? He said, I'm coming to you because I love you. He said, it's hard. I cannot look. And he took the handle of the door, and he tried, he couldn't, but the friend put his hand upon the hand of the owner of the house and opened the door. When the door opened, there were many insects, many black birds, like bad birds. They were going. When the eyes of the friend came upon the corners of the door of the room, everything going, became clean, very clean. So the owner of the house said, how? How? Who are you? He said, I'm your best friend who came in order to make all the doors open inside your heart. I finished my story, and now I think you understand the meaning. I think so. If you have a closed door, he cannot give you his mouth. He cannot give you his voice. He cannot give you. And the fault, it's not him, it's you. Because you're closing such door. Okay, how can I open the doors? I have few doors, not only one door. I have few doors. How can I open? Yeah, this is confession. Very simple. This is confession. My Father, come with me tonight. We're gonna get to one of the rooms. Yeah, take him and get into one of the rooms, one of the closed door, and make him as a best friend to know what's inside the heart. The church giving you the right in order to choose your confession father, and heaven waiting from you in order to make him the best friend who can be authorized in order to touch all the rooms of your heart. How many rooms do you have? I have many. Okay, what? How many rooms? Make your confession father God. Would you like to have this gift? It's a great gift to give you his mouth, to give you his thoughts. You can talk by his mouth. You can talk. You can distinguish his voice. He said, "My sheep know my voice." Do you know his voice? Can you differentiate his voice? You have many voices inside your heart. But would you like to know his voice? Open the doors of your heart to him. And that's it. There's nothing more can I say to you, because since we have, therefore, put in your hearts not to meditate beforehand on what you will answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom. I'm talking about this mouth and wisdom. Since you know now how to get this mouth and wisdom, to have the right in order to talk by his word, to know what to say in the proper time, by the proper way, to the proper people. All this wisdom, you can have it if you can open the door of your heart. Glory be to God.
Blessed are they